Hello, my name is METİN. This is 248th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, Schwarzschild black hole, Schwarzschild solution, and Einstein field equations are wrong. In accepted physics theories say, this is quote from Wikipedia, Schwarzschild solution is an exact solution to the Einstein field equations that describes the gravitational field outside a spherical mass on the assumption that the electric charge of the mass, angular momentum of the mass, and universal cosmological constant are all zero. I'm going on to transfer the quote from Wikipedia. A Schwarzschild black hole or static black hole is a black hole that has neither electric charge nor angular momentum. From internet, Wikipedia, Schwarzschild metric. Yes, according to my theory and my formulas, 1. A black hole is nothing but a giant intrinsic electron motion form of matter, sensation, perception, matter. I'm so sorry. I advise you to watch my former videos about electron motion forms and etc. And whether electron motion form is at rest, not relocating, or in motion, relocating, rotating, yes, whether it is at rest or in motion, electron motion form, in other words, black hole, has angular momentum. In other words, it has Planck's constant because, according to me, as I told you before, Planck's constant is nothing but angular momentum of any point on electron motion form's surface. And angular momentum or Planck's constant is in fact variable if the electron motion form is relocating, as I told you before. Here, this is Planck's constant. Angular momentum is equal to mass, point mass, speed of light, wavelength, and is equal to mass, we see lambda normal. This is speed of light, this is 6.28 times greater than the speed of light, 2 pi c. Linear velocity component mass, speed of light component mass, but same Planck's constant, okay? Lambda normal. Without lambda normal, without wavelength, you cannot find angular momentum, you cannot find Planck's constant. I have computed, for instance, c direction component 2.10 to the minus here mass multiplied by c multiplied by most common 91.155 nanometer wavelength size electron motion form in our atoms. When you multiply these numbers, you find Planck's constant. Try it. 91.155 nanometer, 10 to the minus 9 meter, multiplied by speed of light, c. Wait a moment. Yes. And multiplied by 2.42 multiplied by 10 to the minus 35 kilogram. That I put forth is equal to 6 çarpı 10 üzeri eksi 34. I don't remember now. This is Planck's constant. Okay. I don't want to confuse your mind now, but if you want about this subject, you can watch my former videos. Yes. 2. A black hole is open-ended. Here. This is its motion arrow. Think of three-dimensional, ring-shaped, repetitive, cyclical, spherical. Okay. Like this. Okay, and after the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle, intertwined motion forms, intrinsic motion forms of meta-sensation perception matter. Yes, motion arrow is so important in meta-sensation perception matter. 2. A black hole is open-ended. Okay? Spherical, ring-shaped electron motion form. This form is ring-shaped surface motion. And each point of this motion surface has linear velocity, energy, angular momentum, mass, etc. Don't forget, a free electron motion form, whether at rest or relocates, perpetually produces and propagates intertwined, interconnected, interacted, successive ring-shaped waves, and each of these waves are ring-shaped motions of meta-sensation perception matter also. And each point on these waves has linear velocity, energy, angular momentum, mass, etc. also. This is c direction component point energy formula that I put forth. This is linear velocity component point energy formula that I put forth. Inside of that, variable wave velocity formula that I put forth, variable wavelength formula that I put forth, and mass, linear velocity component mass, speed of light component mass formulas. These masses are different, these energies are different. There are no discerning these two components in our accepted physics theories. And in accepted physics theories, an electron is an ordinary but point particle, dimensionless particle. This is wrong, yes. Electron is not a particle. Electron is a motion form. Intrinsic motion form of unseen matter, sensation, perception, matter. Yes. 3. First cycle's linear velocity of any point on a black hole's motion surface is. This is so important. First cycle's linear velocity is 6.28 times greater than speed of light, 2 multiplied by c. 1,884,000 kilometers per second for the first cycle. Now, and naturally, a light wave from another electron motion form can coincide and join this first cycle motion, and so we cannot see it together cycling. Okay. This is the reason that I put forth. Light lost in a black hole, or light, remember, photon ring, photon spheres. Okay. This linear velocity of first cycles of a black hole can disturb successive light waves from other electron motion forms that coincide with it. Okay. This is a giant black hole. This is small electron motion forms. Here we observe, okay, and disturbing because of another electron motion forms successive waves met with giant electron motion forms first cycle. Of course, light will be disturbed. Then we see a ring. Okay. Yes. This linear velocity of first cycles of a black hole can disturb successive light waves from other electron motion forms that coincide with it. Eventually, a theory that assumes a thing with mass but without angular momentum must be wrong, because mass originated from electron motion form. Electron motion form is a spherical ring-shaped, cyclical, repetitive, perpetual motion form with wavelength. Without wavelength, you cannot mention mass, you cannot mention angular momentum. Because mass originated from electron motion form, electron motion form is a spherical ring-shaped, cyclical, repetitive, perpetual motion form with wavelength. In other words, black hole is a spherical ring-shaped, cyclical, repetitive, perpetual motion form with wavelength, mass, angular momentum, velocity, energy, etc. If the angular momentum were zero, mass and an electron motion form or a black hole wouldn't exist. Therefore, the Schwarzschild solution is nothing more than the repetition of a wrong idea. Have a good evening. See you later.